preparing for our magazine releasing tomorrow morning, right? And it's available on our stripe.com product catalog, and then also everyone can send me an email if you want to order my AWOKH magazine. It's a woman motivational magazine. Men can buy it. We've got our billionaire's thought that last year we shared our own opinion on the circumstances that sometimes relates to the billionaire in our generation. And this year I don't talk about wars in my magazine. I don't add news to the magazine. So it's more a motivational magazine. It's 25 New Zealand dollars. I shared a few details on what are we doing this year when it comes to South 2024, our exciting South journey education. That is everything that our generation has to learn and has to listen to when it comes to ourselves in such a time where there's so much happening. So with all that's happening, you know, our businesses needs to go on. With all that is happening, our daily lives needs to go on. With all that is happening in the world, we have to educate the world to go on a daily basis. When they find themselves in countries that are challenged, when they can't afford it, they can travel to countries where it's fine, right? There's a lot of countries in the world that people that find themselves in war countries can travel to. So that's what we suggest for people in war countries, right? Until the world gets control over what we need to be on a keep going pace, right? On a pace where we find ourselves the right from wrong application, right? When I say right from wrong, I'm sitting this way. When you look at me saying right from wrong, this is your right, but the right from wrong application in our daily lives, right? And when we all that we have to respond to in our generation, when it comes to racial differences, when it comes to differences in our different countries, nationalities, and different upbringings, religious differences, traditional differences, we are constantly not dealing with religious arguments, or with traditional arguments. We are actually dealing with countries that are working towards becoming first world countries, right? And I've been watching YouTubes, and it's been a lot of distractions on what's really happening. And therefore, when we look at the year, we need to really find ourselves in our South season. The requirement to respond fine. If you're a business person, how are you going to manage your business in a generation where there's so much happening in the world? How you are going to manage your business in a fine way, like I educate on my business. How do I respond in a generation that are so much aggressive, and it seems like they're good, and in a certain time it seems like there's no division happening, and it seems like no one is divided, right? In under such aggression, we have to educate ourselves to be fine. And how do we educate ourselves to be fine? Is when we allow ourselves to keep on owning what is yours. So there's a lot of transformations happening because of one type of person that sometimes argues that this is what is meant for them. When it comes to a work business, it is holding on to what belongs to RIBEA ELISE, what belongs to me in my AWOKH business. And therefore, with business owners this year, let's really, really educate ourselves on how to own our businesses when there's so much happening. There's so much happening in international countries. Sometimes we don't realize it in our own countries. But once you get familiar with what is happening in the world, how do you then own your business? How do you then manage your business? How do you then structure your business? We're going to continue also on business restructuring discussions and our leading this generation discussions. We're going to do our monthly relationship talks. So for our leading this generation discussions, you can listen to our podcast. It's on Castbox, right, with RIBEA ELISE. You can also listen on our relationship talk. We're going to do mental wellness this year. And we're going to do South 2024 with such women of color. That's combined with that discussion. And then our educational discussion that is stronger 2024 also. Everything that we add onto the year, our weekly podcast that we add onto the year, we will share details of that. But mainly what we want to discuss during this year is our main discussions of, our main educations, right? Where we sit and really share information, and we really say on our experiences where we are at, what sometimes first-time business owners, sometimes my career history gives me the advantage to really own my leading this generation education on social media, based on my career history, based on my work experience, based on my human resources background, based on the structured organizations that I've been employed at. I really find myself advantaged to educate our generation and leading this generation in the season that we are currently experiencing. That our season's education will continue to go on. Follow our fashion, yes, my fashion opinion, not fashion that you go and look on Tokyo, Milan fashion. You listen to RIBEA Elise's fashion education and fashion opinion, owning that, that is you. So we've got a young fashionista here, so that's a rising. And my opinion is hold on to you in the currentness of your season. Hold on to your education, because that is what fashion is. Fashion is your opinion. You fashion that and you change other people's opinions on how they used to look at fashion, right? So there's fashion that comes that the history of fashion, right? You hold on to that, but you also learn to hold on to you and to present you when you are holding on to the historical fashion opinion of generations of people. And therefore, that's what we call fashioning. You don't necessarily call fashion grabbing someone else's work there that's working from America, and they're working on the coloring, and they're on a different experience in RIBEA Elise's, but you listen to the you in the season and the currentness of motivational women, motivational reels and messages for throughout the year. And we really don't want to be sharing too much. And we know that women today are experiencing a lot amongst humanity, but we are going to be kind, and we are not going to be too harsh on. Last year we didn't say a lot. In 2023 we started in 2022 amazingly, and Free Her initiative and throughout the year. And on educational, we're gonna educate here some things that people can do in their communities, community initiatives when it comes to a woman that finds themselves challenged in countries. I had my vision of women rise, community centers, right, that I've mentioned before on my videos, that there is an AWOKH initiative of what women experiences in countries, how they can share and educating one another, how they can share and creating a fine environment where they are at in different countries, how they can share and creating an environment that is safe for them and for the people in the countries of where they find themselves at. So we're going to share on that with our Free Her initiatives, and we're going to share on that on our Instagram live stream pages. So we're going to also do that. We've got the process of purpose, yes, that we are still going to do, and we've got our Mona Lisa, that is mid-year that we're going to start with that, and that is the completeness of AWOKH 2024. Now I've said a lot. Go through our social media pages. We do our Lamborghini Reels also this year. We didn't do Lamborghini Reels last year because we're going to specifically design our Lamborghini fashion reels for our YouTube and for television adverts, so that they can get Lamborghini fashion reels for our YouTube and for television adverts, so that they can look at our reels, so they can get some inspiration in leading the generation, and it difference in challenging countries. And while we add the difference, we also allow ourselves to educate. I've really too, and then you would exactly know where we are going to be at in this year's discussion 2024. And we want everyone that's going to be on leading this generation, the theme black and white overruled with color. people of color is, yes, the house of color that we are all representing in season. That is it for me, everyone. Have an amazing journey with AWOKH business, an amazing year. Tune in, listen in. Half of the world is listening in. A lot of countries are listening in. Yes, they don't normally reveal that they're listening in. People are sharing the videos in interesting ways and sharing the information in interesting ways, and everyone is trying to hold on to that. That is our birth womb's right to present ourselves and to own our seasons and to color with all that we are coloring in our generation. That is that for today. With me, RIBEA Elise. Have an amazing AWOKH 2024.